So, good afternoon, folks, friends and sewers. So today, the third installment of my wraparound tutorial is to pleat the front of our wraparounds. But in my last video, it got really short, so we're just gonna go and kind of finish off what we were doing there. So anyway, just gonna get this all set up for us. Where we left off was we were doing our little sewing tee. So we were working on our back seam or the foot seam part, and then we're just going to flip that out, and then we're going to trim it off, the excess. So there's that. So anyways, we shall continue. So we're going to go ahead with our pleating of our wraparound. I made it really clear that to actually get this done a lot quicker and easier with the pleating is to do our pen or tick marks and stuff, just so that we can evenly space out our pleat. So I got it started. We're gonna have our welt in between our vamp and the bottom of our wraparound. Always keep the welt pretty close to the vamp. So we're holding those two pieces together, and this is what we're going to be moving and sliding. So to protect your finger, wrap it around with some flexible hockey tape. I have my thimble made out of leather, pretty easy to make. And then we're going to sew right up to our midway point on our vamp. And then we're gonna put a secure knot, scissors over to the side, and then this is where we start connecting the dots, just like how we did on our liners. So you can see that point lining up with that point, and so forth. So there's one. And for the size 5s, or the size 4s, sorry, I have about, I think it was like five points or on each side, so 13 altogether. So for the sake of the video and the time, I'm just going to go ahead and, connect the dots. Don't get overwhelmed by sewing the leather. A nice good sharp pair of glovers will help a lot. When you get close to the center, make sure after every 2 or 3 stitches that you give your sinew a good tug. When I get to the center, I kind of go do my stitch, and then I'll do a secure stitch. I don't know. It was just one of those habits that I got into when I was sewing moccasins and stuff. So you just continue lining up your points on the opposite side and just continue with the rest. You might want to put maybe 6 in the size 4s, the points, so you'll have 6, 12, 13, 14, 15 dots all together. When I was sewing the first one here, it just didn't, the loops were kind of looking a little too big. But for the sake of this, we're just going to go ahead with the markings that we already put in. So this is almost coming to an end. You'll notice that the loop will get smaller and smaller as we progress. So I'd like to just unhook that, and we're just going to put in our last 2 pleats. And you'll notice that everything is kind of coming to a close, or lining up well. So when I get to the last points, then I just do a secure stitch, and then I will just whip stitch the rest closed. So like I mentioned before, after every 2 or 3 stitches, just give it a tug. It just keeps the stitching nice, and if you pull it, you won't be able to see your sinew poking through on the other side. And, you know, and then just get to the last one. Secure knot, go back a stitch, and then put in another knot. And voila, just snip that off. And then we're going to snip off the excess. Then we're going to flip it inside out, flatten it out a little bit, and then we're just going to trim away. A good sharp pair of scissors helps as well. I mentioned in the previous video that I just use the height or the width of the scissor as my cutting length or cutting height when trimming off the welt. And there you go. There you have it. Easy. Just take your time, takes practice, but like I said, just make sure that you have like an even amount or you know, of points on either side. If it's off by one, then you know you could easily fix that, but hopefully this video will help. And thank you.